If you've been investing with the Pine River Hedge Fund, you saw a very good return. This fixed income fund returned 27% in 2010. It was ranked as the 7th best performing fund of the year, according to this month's Bloomberg Markets magazine. The fund also returned a whopping, get this, 92% in 2009. We're joined now by the CEO of Pine River, Brian Taylor. Brian, congratulations on the performance.
Thank you, Margaret.
And I know you're singled out here in Bloomberg Markets magazine for the world's richest hedge funds. They've gone through about 100 of them, and you're topping off the list here because of your performance. And I know over the past 2 years, a big part of that has been your bets on just how quickly or not Americans would be able to pay their mortgages, right?
Yeah, that's right, Margaret. The mortgage market suffered tremendous dislocation and, was one of the root causes of the 2008 financial crisis. And it's created tremendous opportunities for private capital to look for relative value opportunities within the space.
So essentially, you've been betting that a number of the government programs that have been put in place to help resolve some of the issues of homeowners being underwater, not being able to service the mortgages that they took out, that those government programs weren't essentially helping out those underwater homeowners.
The mortgage market, it's a vast market, $10.7 trillion. A little over half of that is guaranteed by the government, and the other half is the non-agency portion has the credit risk of the underlying borrowers. So the government has implemented a number of initiatives to help homeowners, deal with their debt. And so many of the refinancing that we've had record policy accommodation through quantitative easing to help lower interest rates, and this has made it possible for millions of homeowners to refinance their mortgage with the aid of some government policy initiatives. So, we're not so much betting against the macro effects, but really more looking for relative value opportunities within these broader trends.
But you did think that the bets on the rate of repayment was a little bit, that there wasn't the refinancing boom that some had projected.
Correct. So in 2003, there were massive refis, and this year, given the same incentives, many homeowners weren't able to to take advantage of the lower interest rates because their loans were underwater, because underwriting standards were more stringent, and just because of capacity constraints in the industry. So various the HARP policy initiatives have helped a number of homeowners, but not all.
Mm-hmm. So what are you seeing now in this new year in terms of perhaps not just the macro bet, but some of these programs and the efficacy? Is that changing your trade?
Yeah, so we approach, we look at both the agency and the non-agency side. Back in 2008, our strategy was profitable by focusing predominantly on the agency side. Over 90% of our profits derived from that sector. It was more evenly split in 2009 between agency and non-agency. In 2010, over 70% of our results derived from a focus on the credit side, the non-agency sector of the market. So, it's a huge market undergoing dramatic change, and there is a lot to look forward to. We're expecting the Treasury Department to announce its plans for GSE reform to Congress sometime this month.
You are expecting at least a plan, if not implementation of it?
Implementation will likely take years.
Yeah.
It's such a huge market, and it's such a big part of the our country's financial market that it will take years to effectively restructure. But we should have the outlines of what the administration recommends for what that will look like.
In reading the Bloomberg Markets piece on you, I was fascinated by the idea that you've opened an office in Beijing in order to tap into math experts. Were you, is there more opportunity there in terms of hiring talent than here?
Well, the portfolio manager for this fund, Steve Kuhn, you know, his 16-person team have done a phenomenal job. Steve has actually spent a few years in Beijing and recruited actively from some of the top universities there, and he's been very impressed with both, you know, the caliber of the talent available in China as well as the work ethic. And so, you know, today we have 16 people based in Beijing, and we're very excited about the work that they're doing, because, you know, this is a very data-intensive, you know, systems processing type of market. There's just a wealth of analysis or data that must be analyzed to make good relative value bets.
All right. Well, it's a great read, and it's an interesting story. Brian, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And explaining to us what has been a successful bet for you over the past 2 years at least. Good luck to you in this new one.